Mix up your bad guys, mix up your player characters, and don't forget that NPCs are people too. Welcome to Dungeon Master Solutions. I'm DMKC, and today we're talking about combat encounters with only one type of enemy. Last week during play, I threw some Kobold Dragonshields at my players, straight out of Volo's Guide to Monsters, page 165. Check it here. What should have been a medium difficulty encounter drug on for an hour and ended with one of my players nearly dying and everyone else looking kind of bored or agitated. In the end, they weren't even able to kill them all off before I decided to have them mutter some choice curse words and retreat. I did this so we could wrap up a less than stellar end to a session. I'm ultimately happy because I'll get to have some recurring villains, but I'm also disappointed because my players were disappointed because they felt like I took it easy on them. I took away two major lessons, and those are what I'm going to share with you today. First, just like any player character party, you have to diversify your enemies on the field. In 4th edition, they had a system of naming different functions that enemies might serve in battle. Controllers, elites, brutes, minions, and the like. There's no exact analog in 5th edition, but you should still consider this and keep the diversity of your enemies in mind when building your combat encounters. In the battle that I described, the only kind of enemies that I had were brutes. The only interesting thing about them being their high armor class, meaning that they're difficult to hit. And the battle devolved into my players just taking turns, rolling dice and seeing who could hit. If I had a more diversified set of enemies, the battle would have had more variation and excitement. Even if it would have ended the same way, with my last few bad guys cursing and running away, my players would have been more satisfied overall. Second, make sure your player characters are diversified as well. A major weakness of high AC, bags of hit points kinds of bad guys is that they are weak to certain types of saving throws, meaning that if one of the player characters had cast the right kind of spell, the battle could have been over like this. And now for a bonus tip. Your bad guys might just be some stats on a piece of paper, but they need to act like living, breathing creatures. If I had kept this in mind, I could have had my Kobold Dragonshield throw down their shields in anger. It would have reduced their ACs by 2, and it would have moved the battle along, and my players wouldn't have felt cheated, because it would have been part of the narrative. So in conclusion, mix up your bad guys, mix up your player characters, and don't forget that NPCs are people too. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. And feel free to leave a comment about what you'd like to see me cover on the channel. See you next time.